Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Alright, so it really feels like we're coming towards the end of this narrative. We're watching narrative death, narrative collapse. We've been talking about this for at least the last 3 weeks. The Democrats attempted so hard to build this narrative that Trump had essentially decimated the GOP. And what did that mean? On the flip side, obviously, implicitly, it meant that Democrats are now back on track to sweep the midterms. Yeah, this is a total fantasy. It's delusional cope from a political class that clearly just doesn't want to accept reality. But now, finally, it seems like the denial is cracking, the supply of copium has become limited, and I think reality is setting in real hard. You know, at first it felt like it was just me and a couple other people screaming into the void, yeah, this isn't actually happening, or likely not to play out the way the Democrats in the media are suggesting. But now I guess it's no longer the fringe crazies like me. No, it's the top Democrat strategists who are basically saying the exact same thing that I've been saying, except this guy is taking it to a whole other level. He's not only suggesting that Democrats are unlikely to make gains in the coming midterms, and even in 2028, no, he's suggesting that the party could be out of power in a weakened state of disarray, possibly for decades. Let me show you guys exactly what's going on here, and again, keep in mind this is coming from a lifelong Democrat and a Democrat strategist, not my partisan thoughts. Let me show you guys exactly what's going on. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so just take a look at this clip right over here. The person speaking is Howard Daniel Pfeiffer, who's described on Google as an American political advisor, author, and podcast host. He was a senior advisor to President Barack Obama for strategy and communications from 2013 to 2015. So this is an Obama staffer who's written many books like Untrumping America, Battling the Big Lie, and Yes, We Still Can. This guy is as partisan a Democrat as they come, and take a look at what he's saying, or take a look at how his plan to un-Trump America is going.
Democrats lost new voters for the first time. Obama got 58% of new voters in 2012. Biden and Clinton got 55%. Kamala Harris only got 49.5% of new voters, which speaks to the gains that Trump made, younger people, and particularly younger people of color, who are coming into the electorate. And if that trend continues, we're in huge trouble. And so the message I take from this is anyone who thinks that we can get away with just tinkering around the edges, just hoping that Donald Trump becomes unpopular, or they nominate some Yahoo in 2028, or we're going to ride the wave of tariffs and inflation to a narrow House victory, is just rearranging the dictionaries on the Titanic. Like, we have to be willing to ask very hard questions. We have to be willing to evaluate every premise, look at how we govern, campaign, message across the board, because right now, and this is where the Obama coalition, the Trump coalition point matters, we are on the wrong side of political history right now. We are the party that is hoping for lower turnout, that the fewer people that vote, we have a better chance of winning, that we are losing ground with the fastest growing parts of the population, younger voters and Latinos. That is a party that can win an election every once in a while if the stars align correctly, but that is a party that will look a lot like the Democratic Party from the 60s until the 90s. There has to be a fundamental change in approach. We just have to really look at it, because there is no easy answer here to what's happening.
Yeah, not so well, huh? And his analysis is spot on, and it's basically what we've been saying. Democrats lost new voters. They lost the popular vote for the first time in a long time. We're talking people who are voting for the first time, and they're not choosing Biden or Harris. They're breaking towards Donald Trump. If we look back at 2012, Obama grabbed 58% of first-time voters. Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden in 2016 and 2020 grabbed around 55%, but in 2024, Kamala Harris couldn't even get 50. And what we could call this is, I'd say, the inflection point. This is where everything is changing. It's not just a fluke. It's not just that Kamala Harris was a bad candidate. It's a generational shift, because a lot of these first-time voters, guess who they are? They're young people. That used to be the Democrats' bread and butter, right? Democrats could say the craziest thing. They could do the craziest thing. They could ruin America's greatest cities, and it wouldn't matter because the youth vote was going to come in to save them, right? Wrong, apparently, because young people nowadays are saying, I am good. No, thank you. Yeah, I guess the empty student loan promises and TikTok cringe with little Harry Sisson and his ragtag crew of femboys, I guess it really just didn't penetrate the demographic. Who could have seen that one coming? The whole thing is falling apart, and I think the Democrats are finally starting to see this. They're starting to realize that yes, Donald Trump's going to have his up and downs and approvals, but Trump's approval approval has no direct correlation to their approval. Trump could be at 45%, but if their party's at 20% approval, what does it mean? It's not like they're making gains from that. Politics is all about choice. And so people are going to be given the two options. Do we go with the guy who scares us a little bit, but seems to be doing all right? Or do we go with the absolute loony bin, head up their own behinds Democrats who are sitting at 20% approval rating? The answer is clear. If an election was held today, despite all the smears, despite all the market panic, the Democrats would lose decisively. Again, nobody would trade what's going on right now to redo the Biden experiment or to take it to the next level with Kamala Harris. There's just no demand for it. And when you realize this, when you understand this, that's when things start to get real grim if you're a Democrat. And in this case, I mean, this guy's outlook is real negative, considering he's comparing the situation to the 1960s, where the Democrats couldn't get it together as a party till the 1990s. He's saying we could be out of favor for possibly the next 2, maybe 3 election cycles. I mean, I don't know. My outlook was I don't think the Democrats are going to be able to recover by 2026 and 2028 and maybe start to create some momentum by the 2030 midterms or the 2032 election. Meanwhile, this guy's saying if things continue this way, we might be out of power for the next 20, 30 years. And it all comes down to the demographics, folks. It all comes down to the data. This is why I ignore the headlines, I ignore the fake fantasy left-wing polls, and I go straight to the good data. Look at the demographics, look at voter registration, and look at the polls who are doing a good job accounting for the shifts in those demographics. And right now, the key demographic that's in full focus, because the shifts have just been relentless, I mean merciless, it's young voters, especially young men. They are drifting, they're gone. And of course, blue-collar workers, same thing. The Democrats' prized possessions. Basically, the people that Bill Clinton and Barack Obama were speaking directly to, they're not interested. They are fully on the Trump train, and many of them are just on the anti-Democrat Party train. They want nothing to do with it. And what do you think that means? That means moving forward, Democrats are likely to continue shedding support in working-class purple states. They're likely to maybe even lose many union endorsements going forward. With the way things are going in steel and the auto sector, the United Auto Workers of America might ditch the Democrat Party. I mean, who knows? Crazier things have happened. And then you've got the shift in voter demographics, the morbid reality of the world. Our time on this earth is finite. One generation passes and then the next generation starts to come in. And now we got all these young people who are entering their adult political lives and they're more conservative than ever before. And so you got 20% party approval, then you've got the next generation coming in. That's total MAGA country. I mean, let's just describe it that way. Yeah, I wouldn't be so bullish on the future either. And clearly the Democrats understand this. And that's obviously why they hired Harry Sisson and made that play. But you know, there's just too much soy. How else can I put it? I mean, this guy right over here is basically the embodiment of what a Democrat male looks like.
Because he's the best person.
Look at this weird guy. He's never lifted a weight in his life.
They call us weird.
Are you really going to hit me? Are you really going to hit me?
The Republican Party has become the party of the macho man, and the Democrat Party is the party of theater kids. And then attempting to take those theater kids and paint them as masculine to win over young men. Yeah, we saw how that worked for Kamala Harris.
I'm a man. And enough to cook my steak rare.
You think I'm afraid to rebuild a carburetor? I eat carburetors for breakfast.
It just comes off as disconnected and non-genuine. They've got no plan to undo the damage. They might be in a position where they just can't undo the damage. They've got no masculine energy. I mean, masculinity in the world of Democrat politics is toxic, should be avoided and ousted from the party. And so they've got Pete Buttigieg and David Hogg. And actually, David Hogg, as a DNC co-chair, is kind of the guy to do the job. He's the face of young voter outreach, and it's been a complete disaster. First, we had his genius idea of encouraging men to vote Democrat so they could essentially have more intercourse.
Young people should be able to focus on what young people should be focused on, which is how to get laid and how to go and have fun.
All we gotta do is tell them that we're the party of promiscuity and destroying the nuclear family, and they'll definitely vote for us. How stupid that was. The guy basically got laughed off the internet, but now he hits us with another doozy. David Hogg, once again, showing us just how high-powered his cognitive ability is. Here's his latest genius idea.
Jasmine Crockett, I love her. She is amazing. I think that people want to see somebody who fights and calls out the bullshit. I think that's what Jasmine does, and we need a hell of a lot more people that are out there that are willing to do just that and call people out on their BS and not say, oh my God, Republicans are going to criticize me for saying this. They're going to criticize you no matter what. So what we should be asking ourselves is, what are we really fighting for? Because we know it matters. And I think Jasmine is frankly the type of leader that we're really looking to support. Somebody who is out there that frankly doesn't give a damn what the other side, at least the elected Republicans in Congress, say what they believe in. And at least you know, even if you don't agree with her, you know what she stands for. And people are really craving that right now. They don't want more politicians that say talking points that it doesn't even feel like they believe, or you don't even really know what they mean. They want somebody who's out there that says what they believe and doesn't care what somebody else thinks about it. They want that authenticity.
Uplifting someone like Jasmine Crockett. Yeah, that ought to do it. Jasmine Crockett. Loud, ratchet, incoherent English, racially divisive nonsense pretty much constantly coming out of her mouth in the most incoherent manner possible. Jasmine Crockett can be described as somebody who's very loud, talks a lot, can get everybody's attention, but unfortunately just can't think. But she's the trump card that the Democrats have. Give me a break. This party is in full-on disarray. It's not getting better. In fact, it's getting worse. I'm not the one saying it. The Democrat strategists are. Democrats are likely, in my opinion at least, going to lose the governor's race in New York State. I think Republicans are going to perform quite admirably, gunning for that governor position in California as well. Democrats are losing footing everywhere, but for some reason they want to gaslight us into believing that they're surging and Trump is falling apart. Yeah, no, not going to happen. I have eyes and ears and a working brain. Anyways, that's what I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.